Hello.
Hello. Hi, Debbie.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. Hang on just a second. Let me close the door here. All righty.
Okay. I had a little rough weekend.
You what?
I said I had a little rough weekend. I had a pain on my right side, bottom number 32 teeth. And I couldn't wait till Monday, so I go to my dentist and find out what happened. And he said, because your teeth is covered under the tissues or the skin tissues, so there is an infection that started. So I had to remove that. And then he said also you need to remove the top one because it's not going to have a place to sit on it.
Wow. So you had 2 teeth removed?
I know, on Monday.
Oh, you're having it on Monday. Oh, you mean
I had it on Monday.
on this Monday? Oh my goodness. How are you feeling
So
today?
you probably see there's a little swollen here.
I can't even tell.
Yeah, it's a little less today. It's much better today than Monday.
Oh, well, good. Well, let's
Can't wait to get started.
yes, let's drop in and arrive. We'll do the awareness practice, and then we'll see what else came up and see how we're going to play. So. All right, I'll go ahead and start us off today. Really present to my ego. It's present to the ego that wants to wow people with being able to help them discover things. Present to the rain outside and kind of the cozy feeling that brings. Whoops. Present to that. Yeah. Oh, were you there?
Yeah, I got lost and got back on.
Okay.
Somehow Zoom got disconnected.
Okay. Did you hear me going? I had my eyes closed, so I didn't even notice.
No, I actually, when you started speaking, it got disconnected and automatically came back on.
Okay, great. Okay. All right, I'll go back. So I was saying that I was present to my ego. I was present to the ego that wants to be the person to help you discover your answers. Call that out so that that doesn't interfere. Present to the rain outside and the cozy feeling that brings. And I'm present to just a lot of possibility bubbling up. Thank you.
I'm present to my little minor pain I have on the right side bottom. I'm present to learning about, exploring today what we're going to get accomplished. I was waiting on it, so here is the moment. I'm present to thoughts on a soul purpose live that I'm going to be attending this February. Somehow, when I was being present right now, it came to my mind, how is it going to go and stuff like that. present to the questions I have. I wrote down some of them about our topic, which we will talk about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mm. Mm.
So I, in fact, just registered a little while ago on a Soul Purpose Live because I saw the email, I read everything, but I forgot to go and click and register. I'm like, I better do that.
Were you there? Were you on it?
No, I just registered a little while ago.
Oh, okay.
The Soul Purpose Live that we're going to be
Oh, for the Soul Purpose Live. Okay. I was thought it was like, I just did a Soul Purpose webinar for Wealth Arc Premium.
I couldn't get on it. I wanted to because I knew we were going to be on it. So when I screamed down, but I guess after a year, I stopped getting those emails how to join.
Oh.
So I used to get it up to August or September.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped getting those emails last 2 months.
Yeah.
But I knew you were on it today.
Yeah. And, we're going to be like the stuff that I went over I actually shared some on the Miracle Paradox, and if I get a recording, I'll send you the recording. And
I have your recording of Miracle Paradox.
Yeah, no, I mean the webinar that I just did.
Oh yeah, I'll get to see it. I will get to see it because when I go on Wealth Factory, if I go to Wealth Architecture program, I get to see all the webinars.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So good.
I get to see that.
Yeah, it'll kind of set the stage for some more of it, and yeah. So I want to check in. What came up for you this?
First few days, I was playing in the same topic, same thing we talked about. I couldn't get anything out of it. And then remember I asked you for a book. You recommended me a book, and I just couldn't stop listening to them because I downloaded the audio on Audible.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't stop listening to it. He was keep going, and I wanted to keep on listening more and more what happened next with the surrender experience he was, trying out. I have a still hour and a half left on the book. He's where his programming business is so big now, but it's about awareness that I learned out of that because he became aware of his noise that he had inside of him, and this is where everything started. So being aware of what's going on, and in fact, if you believe it or not, I start to noticing those two. Like if you think about it, like you hear yourself talking, telling you to do something, telling you not to do. It's just that I was not aware of it until now.
Yeah.
Now I can be aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when you're talking, sometimes it's saying something different in your mind than what you're saying with your lips. And
absolutely.
Yes, and that meditation practice was great.
Well, and the thing, Harshna too, about why one of the reasons I like to have my clients read that book is because what he was able to accomplish in meditation is a lot of what we are doing in coaching. We are creating a distance between who you are not and who you are. Mm-hmm. And, through his meditation, like that, his whole surrender experiment, when things would come up, here's somebody building a house on my property, all this stuff that's coming up, surrender to it. He surrendered to it and gave his whole heart willingly. He didn't just give his whole heart willingly to whatever is in front of him. He had to surrender the ego.
Yes. And that was a big part of it.
Yeah. It's, one client asked me once, well, I've been saying no to more things, and, reading that book, I think, am I supposed to be saying yes to more things? And that's not necessarily it. It's that he was able to do the work through meditation to return to his authentic self. You want to say yes to things from your authentic self, not from your monkey mind. And so most of us are saying yes to things from our monkey mind, and that's, and so, yeah.
Yes, it was a good experience. And then I was talking. I came up with some stuff like we talked about it, to try to find some topics of the video, what we can create on. That's where we ended off, like create a list of the topics up to 100, but I didn't get to 100 of the videos we will be talking about. And I also, I was thinking, weekly blogs or the topics that we can discuss. Probably a daily quotations every morning that gives you that pinch of energy to get your day going.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I don't know how this is going to happen, but I signed up for Nightingales, and they used to, in the beginning, I used to get a quote from them.
Yeah.
That reading that quote in the morning was telling me that the day ahead is full of energy. So I thought this was I think it's a good way to start a day, to learn something or to know something positive in a world to sentence.
So are you seeing that that's one of the ways that you would love to serve women, is like with a daily quote, something like that?
Yeah, daily quotes, and then on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, I'll give a little detail on a topic.
Yeah.
So they can read about it. And these are the stuff I'm thinking. It's because when I first got to the Wealth Factory, this is from the experience. When I was listening to all these videos and topics, I was scared. I was feeling the energy, so much of energies, and slowly I was trying to implement it and try to get things solved. And then once there was not much to solve or learn or new, I was getting drained out, like I was getting diverted. And then whenever I feel that, I would go back and open I always have a Audible on the book, because that's what I like the most, instead of sitting and reading.
Yeah.
I can do that whenever I am.
Yeah.
So I would turn on Derek Gunderson's probably Killing Secret Cows. Or maybe Financial Freedom, because all this stuff talks about producers' power hours and.
So let me ask you this, because you have an interest in helping, or you have an interest in personal finance. Would there be an inclination to help women use the platform of money, to use the platform to empower them, like the conversation of money?
Yeah, conversation of money I think it's important, because sometimes when you do want to stuff and your money is not straight up or not lined up, you can't focus on it. So that's the first thing anyone needs to solve in order for to live happily, or to probably hear yourself out.
Yep. If that's a platform that interests you, I think that would be really powerful, because have you ever heard you've got to sell them what they want and give them what they need?
I heard about it, yeah.
People will come, if you, that's one of the reasons that I used to do a lot with women and money, for the same reason, because I loved it. I love the conversation of money. I started out in doing that with women because I see that many women in the world are disempowered in the conversation with money. And I loved using, money as a invitation to a deeper conversation, because it will have them sign up, it will have them read, it will have them join the conversation. Then what they discover is that, it's never about the money. It's about the self. It's about so much more. And so then you get into the conversations that are really going to serve them. But if you have, if you look at your speaker platform and your story with money is a really powerful one, and everything that you've been able to do in coming from India and, starting a business and everything that you've done doing part of your money story would help get attention too.
Mm-hmm. Yes. When I first, like I said, when I first started Wealth Factory, I didn't even know I was supposed to think about myself or the sole purpose, or there's something that you can be win-win on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Really, honestly, I would mention that to Garrett. He actually had a 10-minute call with me, and I told him about you and what I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
So what I like, money was the reason why I joined Wealth Factory. But money became, well, once I got more into it, sole purpose, sole purpose was a big thing. I think, and you had, I don't know, when was that? Was it this year that I got access to it? And when you were speaking in the
Hey, Harshna, you keep breaking up.
you mentioned about.
You keep breaking up. Yeah. If it keeps getting choppy, I might have you turn off your video. Sometimes that will help with the internet connection. It just keeps.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I learned from that workshop that you were talking about is you could have so much stuff from your life that you could have it and then can lose it. But the assets you have yourself, the knowledge you have, you can start everything back to where it was. Maybe better because you have experience now.
Yeah.
So this came to me after Money's Attraction, actually.
Well, and so that's just something to kind of consider. So did you, like, if you were to map out, did you, like we talked about, maybe mapping out your message by the seasons of what you might want?
No, I didn't get to map out what season, what we would do, because I was actually trying to focus on like the material, the message. I wanted to create a message.
Okay. Yeah.
And the topics that we would be talking about. And then I couldn't think about it. So then I listened to the book, and then I went back to our first deep dive session, and that gave me a little more insight.
Okay. Cool.
So I was not,
that kind of makes sense. That makes sense. And that was one of my instincts to do, is to kind of, like, we started your miracle paradox in the first call, which I hardly ever do with people. It was, and so, but I think that we should go back and pull it back up, because your miracle paradox will give you the content. It will help you outline
exactly, it. Yes. And that's how I got some of the, like, first is like, how we have a self-assessment, coaching, self-assessment on the financial. So I was thinking we can have the self-assessment on you, as are you a confident or not confident, positive person or a negative? Do you always complain, or do you accept the situation? Are you like responsible? You take responsibility of a good or a bad stuff that happens to you, or you blamer? Are you aware of consciousness around you, or you're always confused and you need advice on it? Are you dependent on someone for financially or anything you need to get done, or you're independent?
Yeah.
These are the topics came to us, and this is exactly from our miracle paradox that we went through.
Cool. And one of the things on the assessment that just came up for me that isn't necessarily right or the way, but just something to kind of point out for you to consider, is that every human being can be like, they can not be responsible and be responsible. They can, look for the solution and look for the problem. Like, what it means to be a human being is to have a monkey mind and a soul purpose heart that navigates. So the thing about, like, if you want to put together an assessment like that, it's like helping them assess, think about, because every human being, there's places that I am not being responsible. there's places you're not being responsible. But we are all doing that. It's just most of us are in our blind spots. And sometimes for some of us who have done more of the work, it's just like way in our blind spot because we are doing so much good in the world that sometimes it's so. One of the things to consider too and sort of like a coaching tool is to ask powerful questions.
Mm-hmm.
In the and doing an assessment, it might be kind of like asking really powerful questions. So instead of, are you a responsible person or not being responsible? Rather, where are the places that you're not being responsible, that you are giving your power away? So it's like, because if we know everybody's doing it, then if you ask that kind of question, then no matter where they are in that dance of our humanity, they can see something for themselves.
Correct. And actually didn't have a question created or anything. I just have like a topic that we can create a question around those.
Yes.
So
very cool.
This is just the beginning, like, when someone shows up and they want to know where they are.
Yeah. Yep.
And if we have created some questions and the answers, then do they know who they are or they want to learn more? And then go from there.
Yep. It's kind of like the assessment I sent you in the beginning, like that right. Sort of, and that helps me. That like I told you do for the people that you're working with is, if you answer those thoughtfully, it's almost like a coaching session. And then by you getting to review the answers and what they say, it's almost like then you can go a little bit deeper when you do talk, and you can give you an insight on how to serve them.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's so when you look through us doing the miracle paradox, what did you I want to take some notes here. You have
pain is
what came out, what did anything new come about what your purpose is?
No, actually those are the stuff that we talked about in a way that we talked about ego talk versus self-respect. So this is something that's one of the topics I have on a video topics that you can talk about self-respect. A lot of women don't know what self-respect is, and they let anyone talk to you anything, and self-respect is one of the topics we can do, or versus ego. Sometimes people have an ego talk versus soul talk that we talk about, and what are those, so they can distinguish if they're ego talk and you're a soft talk. And in the beginning, there's so much of ego that we know that there's an ego because we don't want to admit to the mistakes that we did, or I don't want to hear me, or I don't want to admit that I did it. But once you admit it, actually you get to the next level.
Yes.
And I have felt that, like, once you know you did it wrong and you say that you did it wrong, that actually releases you from that, whatever you did. Now you don't have to worry about it because you said it. That gives you a next step. And then I've been like, last couple of days, I'm like, after listening to the book, that inner power, the inner strength, the energy Mickey talks about is everyone has it. It's that they all got covered under laziness, probably ego, or maybe I can't do it, the weaknesses. So the purpose is to uncover those unfold all those covers and find that inner strength.
Yeah. So I'm sitting over here, Harshna, and my mind is going in all these different ways in what we can do. And I don't want to play with that. So I want to check in with you. What's your sense of what we need to do next?
I think instead of I do feel that same way too, that I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm listening to this, I'm thinking about this. But I think we should come up with some kind of first message, what kind of message I want to spread. That came to me when I was talking to Garrett that I'm working with Demi on what's happening. So then, I'm like, I'm working on being, yes, you can, but you don't have to kind of a message. When I was telling him, and that's when I came, I'm like, is this the message we want to be talking about, So let's find a message, and then let's come up with some medicines that we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
How do we let people know what I'm doing?
Okay. Okay. So I still feel like your message is yes, you can, and no, you don't have to.
Right. And I feel that all the time.
Okay, cool. And so your purpose is we could do a little bit of purpose mapping. Let me pull up where I have this.
So we were driving somewhere and I asked my husband, do you know what I want to do? Like, do you have any idea of what I'm trying to get there? So he asked me, he's like, I don't know what you're doing. Can you tell me a little bit about it? So then I ended up telling him, I'm going to help a person find themselves, which is, like I told you earlier, that came to me at that moment, that it's covered, it's buried inside of you, to help them unfold all those layers out and see who you are. That's the main thing. But how do I do it? How do I unfold all those layers on someone else? And there you can go so much deep on a different topic because there's so much involved.
Yeah, hang on one sec. Let me grab that. I have some notes that I want to grab. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, your message is yes, you can, and no, you don't have to. And your purpose is to help women discover the truth of who they are. Does that feel like it is?
Help the women discover who they are. Help to discover women
who they are and what they're made of.
Who they are and what they can do.
Okay, yeah. To help women discover who they are and what they can do. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I want to show you this. So this is your purpose. Then when we do this, oops. Okay. Wait. Here we go. Okay. Then we go, what can I do to Okay.
Right, yes.
When you do this, it opens up a lifetime of possibilities.
Right, yes.
And then we want to do a little bit of purpose mapping. So this is your big life purpose. This is distinguished. So let me show you this. So I'm going to kind of turn. I'm going to do a little bit of diagramming. Can you see this whiteboard?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So let me make sure you have the best shot you can see here. Okay, and then
I actually enlarge my screen so I can see better.
Okay. So here's your big life purpose. Call it Big P. And so this is your big life purpose. We're going to call this it for now. I mean, sometimes it can kind of illuminate Sometimes there might be something above it, but for right now, we'll call this right now is the top. And then when we turn it into questions, it can lend to missions. Okay, there's two missions that, so for mine, like my big life purpose is unity and inclusion on the planet. So when I turn it, how can I and what can I do to create more unity and inclusion on the planet? Then it opens up, like, then I have my missions, and each of these there's two that I think are pretty universal, and that's like being the best human being I can be, and my family. So those are kind of like universal that are, I think, yours too. So I'll put personal best, family. Then for me, my other two, Harshna, mine's wealthy women now and coaching. Okay. So one of yours is, I'm going to call it your women's work. Does that sound right on? Like the work that you're going to do with women's work, or like empowering women. I'll put it empowering women. And then, you may have, like, this might be your project of like that you're doing with your husband, the farm in India. It might be something else, and you might have a fifth, right? But for right now, the empowering women is given by the purpose of helping, and like really your big life purpose is helping all people discover who they are and what they're made of. It is really your big life. It's all people, but this like empowering women is given by this to help women discover that. So,
right. And I can see why you have this chart up there, because the big purpose is not just the work, it's your family, it's everyone. Yeah,
it's all of it. But then we can start to like create sort of a mission statement for our work that we want to do with women, and then we can have a strategy for it. So what's our strategy? My strategy is that I am going to get my message out through an online platform. Or my strategy might be, I'm going to start working with the leaders of women, or one-on-one coaching, or I want to start doing retreats. So it's sort of, then we look at what's the strategy for it. So so I just wanted to kind of, that's something to kind of map out, and that will be really helpful to continue seeing that your big life purpose is this, and the empowering women is this. And then we'll want to map out the strategy for it. When you map out the strategy for it, then we start to understand the platform that we're going to be doing. But whatever it is we do, we're given by purpose of helping people understand who they are and what they can do.
Correct.
And along this journey, more and more of that message will be, you'll continue to refine and define it. Let me stop sharing. So what do you see about that?
Yes, that's actually, you had made it a picture that I can see what could be done. But empowering women is what I've always been thinking about, like what kind of platform. So that's why there's like weekly blogs, daily quotations, self-assessment basically tells it when they come in, but then when they're with you, what to do, what information we can give it to them, how can we keep them energized to the dreams, because if you turn away from your dreams, it kind of gets faded away. And you tend to forget your purpose.
So one of the things that I do for my clients, Harshna, is I help them dream bigger than they've ever dreamed before. And then I help them take
you had shown me.
I know, we did that. And then what my job is to do is once we dream bigger, then my job is to get them to take the tinier steps forward towards it than they've ever taken.
Right.
So what's the tiniest step forward that you could take towards this big dream?
Right now? Probably spread the message I want to give, like, give them a message. Probably make a message that to know that you can be empowered. Like I don't know how to say it, but like some kind of message that makes them think, maybe I can do this. Something that when they hear it, they're like, maybe I can do it.
Yeah. I have an idea for you because I'm really, so much of what I'm feeling from you is that you want to use your words, your words are going to be, that's what a platform is. A platform is using our words to be a bridge to the hearts, like a bridge between my heart and your heart.
Right.
And, so for right now, a tiny step is like, I feel like this idea came up for me. So like to pull way back into like where we are now. Here's the big dream, but let's being in here and knowing we can take 1,000 tiny steps forward towards it and we're going to get there. My thought is to have you start writing.
Okay.
And this was kind of my thought, and when we talked last time, and it just, I think the reason that I felt inclined to say, start mapping out your content map is because I feel from you that you have so much to say.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that you're kind of holding in all that you have to say, and it's like oozing out of you.
Right.
You can't even hold it in anymore. It just is like you have so much to share. It's like you've been holding it in too long, and it's just like, it's oozing out. Like you'll be saying something and it just is like this inspirational message just comes, it follows, right? And so my idea for you is to begin to tell your story, write your story.
Okay.
Inside of the miracle paradox.
Right.
So, and this will help because your miracle paradox is going to help distinguish and refine your message even more. So, and you could go back to listen to like that, like inside of like, write out the story of your pain.
Right.
But as you write out the story of your pain, I want you to write out all of the stories of your pain as best you can. Because you had that experience when your family moved to America and all of that, like that was sort of the initial pain, but there were been many instances of that pain along the way. The reason being is every single one of these pain stories that are aligned with your miracle paradox, that are where you felt that you couldn't, every moment where you were inside of, I don't know if I can do this, every single one of those stories are going to be a story that is going to get your audience's attention.
Okay, I got it. It's not going to be perfect.
Don't worry about it being perfect.
The content. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm just going to write what I
And know that you can even get a copywriter to take your story and make it really deliverable for an online audience. We just want to I really want to capture sort of the timeline of your pain, and I want to help you go into the vulnerability of your pain. Because I just go like, the more that you can start to go to the places that nobody else will go in the pain and be vulnerable and tell the truth, and then even go to the places in your life today and be vulnerable and tell the truth, is to the extent that people will listen to you.
Okay.
That you can just cut through all of the noise that's out there. Okay. So like starting to write the stories of your pain, and then writing a little bit about what you stand for and your inner calling. those are the three main dots of purpose to connect. And I really think that working inside of those and diving into those a little bit more, writing out those, they're going to illuminate more.
Okay.
And they're going to be very foundational pieces to your content.
Okay. I'll give a start on this one.
On the stories of your pain, go in as you write those. You can also talk about what you learned from it.
Okay. So that's the first step, which is good because this is very funny because one day I was in the shower, my husband was in the bathroom, and I'm like, Kiran, I think I got my topic, who am I? And I'm gonna write a book about it. And he ignored me. Like in the beginning when I was telling all this stuff, he's like, okay, whatever, like he was ignoring me. Like I'm serious, listen to me out. I want to tell you something, because when I'm telling something to someone, something comes up to me. So that's why I want to keep saying it out loud, because the mind tells me something else when I'm talking about it, or when I'm telling someone about it.
Yes.
So this is great. I'm going to start on it, and I think it's going to make me think even deeper about the pains I had.
Yes, it will. It will. Yeah. And then do yourself a favor. Have like a notebook or a Google document that is sort of content ideas. Because as you're going through this, you'll if an idea comes now, you don't have to type anything in there. It's just that it's there. If as you're going through these stories, oh my gosh, this is an idea I want to make sure that I include in my content map. I want to include that. I want to include the idea of pain is your purpose. I want to include the concept of the story about. This is a really good example of this. Like, so anytime that just sort of this like idea comes that, oh, this would make a really good article, this would make really good message, I want to include this piece in it, keep tallying that. Like because for me, when I'm doing this, those ideas come all the time and I don't go and document them, and then I can't find them. They're gone.
That's true.
Yeah. Or it changes so fast. It's like, oh, then you're onto another idea around it, and it's like, oh, is that interesting anymore? So it'll be really helpful if you just have it and we can look at it together. And if I doubt myself when I'm in it, but if my coach says, yeah, that's really good, I think see how that aligns here, then I have the confidence in it again. I can deliver that message with more certainty.
Right. Yes. And it helps actually, because I wait for a call. I don't have to wait, because I got your video saying that I could create another video if I want to. So that's something I wanted to ask you. How do I go and do it? You just go on Zoom and then create a video?
Oh, you mean to do a video message to me?
Mm-hmm.
So do you have Gmail?
Yes.
Okay, so if you Gmail has I think it's like Cloud HQ. So I think it's like, let me just look it up really quick. Let me see.
Because you told me you sent me a video messaging saying that this is how you can also communicate if you want to. And this is actually great, because it will be empowering me to tell me, okay, yes, I came up with something. Let them know.
Yeah, and it's really good too. I think this is the link. Let me send it to you. Here's like, I think it's really good too. So I'm going to put it in the chat right here. Here's a link. I'm going to send you 2 links. So those are one, and then loom.com is another one that I use. Um, oops. I like the Cloud HDQ one, the Gmail one, to download a little bit better because I've had problems with Loom from time to time. But I was with Tim Carden yesterday, and he was showing me that he helped me. Do you know about extensions?
Extension? No.
I didn't either. I didn't know. So there's so he set this up for me. Can you see this right here? Can you see where my cursor is?
Yes.
See this little, so this little thing right here, these little things that are over here are called extensions.
Oh.
And he said if you use Loom from the extension, it works great. But if on my laptop I have it down as like a app thing, if I use it from there, he says it's terrible. And that's all I've ever used it for, is from the apps down below. And I have trouble with it. So what I had to do is I think we had to Google like add Loom extensions. Yeah. And then follow this, like install the Chrome extension Looms like that. So if you use Loom, do the extension, but I think it'd be really great for you, Harshna, because the other thing is too, we can work together if, when I first, probably less than a year ago, I had this, because of my pain, being publicly humiliated and, that, I had this just illogical fear of being in front of two or more people. Having two or more eyes on me was terrifying. It's why I built my whole coaching business inside the private curtain of Wealth Factory, so that I didn't have to be public. And one of my first biggest fears when I started, when I created Wealthy Women Now and I hired a coach to help me go, take Wealthy Women Now out into the world, I was terrified of having a social media account, of even doing a website with my picture on it. I didn't want to be seen. And I would, I would try to do video content, and it would take me all day, the entire day. I would script a message and I would film it, and I would still do terrible with it, right? It was just this block. I've done a lot of coaching work and created a lot of breakthroughs around it. Whereas today I do almost tons of video messages. It's easier for me. I feel like I can connect with the person better in video. I love getting video messages. So why I say this for you is this way you get to kind of practice doing the videos, getting comfortable with the videos, speaking in a camera. And if you notice any resistance or nervousness, then we can work through it. We can coach through it.
Right. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I do have speaking in front of public is a fear. And I want to get over that fear as well too. So that's why public speaking is one of mine. Because that way I do want to give a message, but then I have a fear. How am I going to do that? How can I tell someone about it if I can't stand in front of the people? And I have tried, and you get shaky, and I had to do a short clip on my brother's wedding about telling him about it. And as soon as I found out that I had to say something about him, it wasn't about what I could tell him all day about him. It was about being in front of people and things.
You know what my TED Talk coach says? She says the way to not be nervous in speaking in front of thousands of people is to delight in your message so much. When you delight in your message so much, you're just so excited to share what you have to share.
Then you wouldn't worry about the audience.
Because excitement and nervous are the same energy. And so if you are excited, if you're more excited, you won't be nervous.
Correct.
That you'll shift it over to excitement. And I actually said that on the webinar because I was sharing the miracle paradox. I'm so excited to share it that it was like I noticed that the nervousness was leaning towards so much excitement. And I even had to kind of calm myself down because I was too excited. I was like, oh, I got to take a breath. I'm getting too excited. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So I will work on creating a video. I just want to give you updates, what my thoughts are, what I'm going through, and I do want to do it. So I was going to do that before the thing started over the weekend. But then I'm like, where do I go and do it? So I had it on my list to ask you. I'm like, let me ask Demi, what would be the one?
Cool. No, I'm so glad we did that out. And then also too, Harshna, life is our ally here. So everything that you're going with over here, check your message of yes, you can, and no, you don't have to. Like, where are these things? Where are they also coming up within? And that's what I wanted to look at this, my notes on that first session.
Yes. In fact, I had copied some of this stuff.
I wanted to look at, because we did a little bit of the distinguishing the shadow and the light. I want to do more with you on that, but I want to
we did some of them says ego talk versus soul talk, powerful versus powerless, feeding yourself versus feeding others first, doubting versus trusting, just start doing it with versus making excuses.
Excuses, I'm too tired versus authentic desire.
Right.
That's a really, really good one. Doing everything for others versus letting others become
independent. Let others
capable. Letting others become capable. Yeah. Ooh, that's so good. That is so good. Oh, that's so good, because that's your message, is helping people discover what they're made of, but the shadow wants to do everything for others.
Right.
Oh, that's so good. That is so
and that's good. Exactly, that goes along with me, because my husband used to tell me that you think about everybody, think about you, like, I want to help this, I want to help that, I do this. He's like, but you need to get this done. And very beginning in the marriage, when someone tells you something, it's ego versus the truth. It's hard to distinguish between those two. Is he telling me because he doesn't want me to help someone, or is he really telling me that I need to help myself? So all of this talks, it makes sense now when you realize everything. I can see some stuff that's actually coming along the way.
Awesome. Keep writing it. Writing will help you distinguish more and more. So I think if you keep writing this stuff out and then doing a video to share the insight with me, it's going to it'll start training you. I can't speak. It'll start training you to get the content out and deliver it to others.
Okay.
Like let it come through, because that's mastery. Mastery is, it's a level above, like you figured it out for yourself, but mastery is where you're able to articulate it in a way that other people can get it and apply it to them, to their lives.
Correct.
And that's easier said than done because of that cognitive limbic disconnect, right? Your message, your soul purpose message, lives in your emotions, and you're connected to it passionately. And when that's activated, our cognitive brain that articulates in words and language is dormant. So it's like, you watch the webinar. I feel like my words even failed me on the webinar that I did. I can feel it. I can take somebody through it. But when I'm explaining it to a group, for like the first time, it's it can be a little bit rough around the edges. And so the more that you can practice it and refine it and get comfortable with it, the better.
Correct. Practice makes perfect. And I actually had my son go through that this weekend.
Cool. or maybe not perfect, but practice brings delight. Delight.
It gives you a little excitement. And the reason I wanted him to go through this is they also do karate, and my daughter could do chuck better than my son. So he's like, how come she can do it and I can't do it? I'm like, because you need more practice. Go get it, work on it. By end of the day, you will be better. And he actually practiced, and then he reminded me, Mama, remember you said in the evening, I will know how to do this. See, I know how to do this better. So the reason I wanted to put that thought in there is because that he knows in the future, if he feel like he doesn't know it, he knows to work on it.
That story right there is a perfect content piece. Do you see that for your message? Yeah, those little stories. So there's that's what I mean. There's stories and examples all over your life going on with your message. Yes, you can, and no, you don't have to. It's, and you're really good at helping people with the yes, you can. I think playing into the no, and you don't have to, play into that for you. Like, because that's kind of what came up here too, is that, my husband is saying, I'm always doing for everybody. Where are you not letting yourself know, and I don't have to?
Yes. I don't have to. I do that a lot with family members. When I don't feel like, I made him do my dinner yesterday because I'm like, you can do something for me.
Yeah. Yes.
So I could do it. It's not like my hands are hurt, my feet are hurt.
Yes.
But I wanted to be pampered. So I would have to do it,
Yes.
So I do that a lot.
As you do it, Harshna, just be aware of your message at play. Yes, you can, and you don't have to. Am I doing everything for others, or am I letting them become capable? This is a perfect opportunity. I could do it, but I would like to be pampered. Now's the time for me to be pampered. And it's perfect to help them learn to be more capable.
Right. And that's the first time he knew how to make that sweet. And he always ate it. He said, I didn't know.
I love it. So there's so much content in your life, all these examples. Start to practice being aware how the various situations in your life are already representing your message. So basically your message starts to become the lenses that you look through, right? Like soul purpose is just like a context to lenses to look through. We're creating your context, like your message context, so that you can look through and see things you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. It's the context that you're going to be able to give to other people that they can look and see things for themselves too.
I see.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on, sister. Well, I look forward to getting some video messages from you.
Yes, I'm going to make, we have a next one in 5 days, and that's on Monday. But then we also have to set timings for the December one. We did not.
Oh, we didn't? Okay, let's look.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you do Monday, December 2nd?
Yes, we talked about the dates. We just didn't talk about the time.
Oh, can you do 3:15?
3:15, so 5:15 our time. Yep, that's perfect.
Okay. Okay, I have a note in here on this one for you to let me know if that time works. Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, I'm sending you an invite. Let me put. I'm just gonna put the Zoom link in on it. Okay.
And the other one was.
I'm holding Monday the 9th for you. Does that work? At 2:00 Mountain Time?
What day is that?
Monday.
Oh, Monday. Monday's fine. Yeah.
Does that work? From 2 to 3 Mountain?
Mondays and Wednesdays are fine.
Okay. Oh, wait, let me. Okay, and then can you do Monday the 16th from 3 to 4 Mountain Time?
Yep. So 5 my time. What time you said on the 9th?
Hold on just a second. I sent you an invite.
Oh yeah. I'll open that.
Okay. Okay.
It's 4 to 5. So yep.
4 to 5 Mountain Time. Okay.
4 to 5 Mountain Time, right?
On the 9th, yeah. And then the 16th is 5 Mountain Time. And then I can do the 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, can you do that?
23rd, yes.
Monday? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want afternoon or morning? I'm wide open that day.
23rd is Monday. We can do morning.
Okay. How is 10:00 Mountain Time?
12 p.m. Eastern time. I have to write both.
What's that?
I said when you say Mountain Time, I have to write Eastern time for my time.
Yeah, so noon Eastern. Does that work?
Yep. That's fine. Noon on mine, 7 on 16, 6 on 9, and
yeah, and I think that gives us 4 weeks in a row. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out the following week.
Yeah, I will be gone in January from 2nd to 23rd.
Okay.
But I will have access to emails, and
Okay.
I'll have my computers with me.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll make a game. We can make a game plan for the next month.
Okay.
And kind of, make a game plan too. I think that, kind of the idea was that we're going to do the deeper one-on-one coaching for a couple months and then have you join the Wealthy Women Now group. Right. And, in that way we can, because there's 2 calls a month. Oh, and I'm just realizing I'm late for my next call. So I better run. But then we'll do 2 group calls, but we can still do 2 one-on-ones a month. You're going to come to the Soul Purpose Live. I think that'll put us in it, be really good. So,
okay.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, sister.
Thank you.
Next week. Okay. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.